Now, we might be taking you down memory lane a little with some of these classic Real Funny Homes, but for this next place, we got to go all the way back. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future was a certifiable sci-fi comedy smash in 1985. But before Michael J. Fox could go back in time, producers had to go back to California to find a house for the film's retro 50s feel.
We began searching in one of the most popular areas in Los Angeles and Hollywood for shooting, which is Pasadena.
And in Pasadena, they found this, the once and future home of George McFly. See, he's Marty McFly's dad in the movie, and when Marty goes back in time, well, you've probably seen the movie. Selena De Leon lived in the house when producers came knocking.
In the movie, this was George McFly's house.
There was just one problem. It wasn't the 1950s. But hey, this is something Hollywood is really good at.
I just remember them really going for the 50s look, pretty much. They had the cars and everybody in their 50s costumes. It really was like Back to the Future. Here we are in the 1950s.
And in this Real Funny Home, the house itself co-starred with the neighborhood, not to mention a few trees. They work cheap.
This is the tree that George McFly fell out of when he was being a peeping Tom. He was peeping off of this tree into Lorraine's house over there. This is Lorraine's house during the movie, and he ended up falling out of the tree.
Maybe it was all part of branching out as an actor for Crispin Glover.
Crispin was placed up on the branch, and we built a platform that was probably about 6 or 8 feet high, and then we put pads on that. So his actual fall was only maybe 2 or 3 feet. So he actually sort of did his own stunt.
And in a case of life imitating art, imitating life, or something like that, Crispin's fearless foray into tree climbing proved inspirational for the neighborhood kids.
After the movie, the kids in the neighborhood were just really mesmerized by this whole concept of somebody climbing up that tree and falling out. So we all tried to climb up the tree, but we couldn't get very high up the tree.
But it was Selena's house that was the real star of the block. Her favorite scene? The one where George McFly slams the door in Marty's face after an argument.
Our big rule was always like, never slam the front door. So here we were, these little kids watching this whole Back to the Future thing happen, and he doesn't just gently slam the door in the movie, he really slams the door. This is kind of a loud door, so this is how we were taught to shut the door. And this is how George McFly slams the door. And he would just do it over and over and over again.
Much to the chagrin of the homeowner, who was a little bit afraid that her period door was going to fall apart.
The door was left intact. But when it came to some bushes, it was a thorny issue.
We had to ask the homeowner's permission to take out his prized rose bushes.
These roses are my dad's babies. And there was a lot of negotiation that had to happen, but they ended up taking everything out.
And of course, as you can see, they're back and in full bloom.
The McFly house still attracts buzzing throngs of fans eager for a little glimpse of their favorite Real Funny Home.
It's a very satisfying feeling to know that people are coming very frequently to visit a place where you worked on a film.
Just a couple months ago, a couple, they were Back to the Future fanatics, basically, and they had reconstructed a DeLorean, and they had driven all the way across the country, and they just wanted to come to this house to take a picture of their DeLorean in front of the house. And there's always something that lingers into the future because so many people can identify with it.